All right, Bucky, it's that time of year. It's getting towards the draft, and we start bringing in some of the players we really like throughout this process. And one of the players I know we're both a fan of, one of the more physical running backs in this entire draft class, Jamaal Williams from BYU, is going to join us here on Skype. Jamaal, how you doing, man? Thanks for stopping by.
I'm good. How y'all doing?
We great, man. You've had an outstanding career at BYU. It's uncommon because still in our minds we think of BYU as a passing school. But talk about your decision, your reason for going to BYU.
Mostly, coming out of high school, I wasn't really highly recruited, but BYU took a chance on me, and loyalty is a big thing for me, and I just like everything about BYU football. I went up there; the football environment was great. They accepted me for who I was, and once I got up there, I already knew that I was part of a family.
I got a chance to go to your bowl game against Wyoming, where you kind of just put the team on your shoulders there and carried a heavy load. You end up as the all-time leading rusher in school history there at BYU. But every big opponent you guys played this year, it seemed like you stepped up and had a big-time game. What was your focus going into some of those games like Michigan State, some of those others?
Mostly just, trying to be the spark plug for the team, just to let them know that we can do it. All we got to do is just, do our assignment, work hard, and know that we got to believe in ourselves. And mostly that's just what I try to do. I try to go out there and play by my actions and let them know that, I'm with them 100% and I'll give them 100% no matter what down it is, what I'm doing, either blocking, running, just doing my assignment just for the team to win.
All right, I'm going to give you a challenge here. We're both former scouts here, so we like to try and, condense our reports and evaluations. So I'm going to challenge you 3 words to describe yourself as a player, your style. Just what can I summarize you in 3 words? What are you getting in Jamaal Williams?
I say workhorse, loyalty, and passion.
All right, I like that. I'm going to give you the words that I have down when I looked at my notes on you. Here are the 3 words I'll give you. Number 1, angry. You're always angry, man. You run angry. You got a little anger to you, which I like in my running backs. Number 2, decisive. You see it, you hit it. There's not a lot of dancing with you. You're no frills. Let's get north and south and let's get going. And then finally, I'll say just your vision. Vision to us, when we break down running backs, that's where it's all got to start. If you can't find the hole, it doesn't matter how fast you are when you're running up the back of your offensive lineman. I thought you got really good vision.
Oh, thank you. Don't make me blush now.
So in speaking of that and speaking about that downhill, rugged running style, you talked about being a workhorse and having a lot of passion. Who are some of the NFL running backs that you pattern your game after?
Mostly when growing up, I probably wasn't born, but I've seen them. It's mostly Walter Payton and Eric Dickerson. I like those 2 the most. Walter Payton, mostly because his off-season workouts really is because, he's always running hills and getting better and getting ready for the season. And that's what I try to do when I'm on the off-season, is try to work as hard as I can, just like him. And Eric Dickerson is because he's a tall running back like me, and once he hit a hole, he looked like a gazelle and he's gone. You know what I mean? So I mostly just try to pattern off of those 2.
And thinking about that, being a taller running back and a guy that loves to kind of live between the tackles, what are some of the things that you try to do to prepare yourself to get ready for those physical games, those physical contests inside being a rugged running back?
Oh, I love contact, honestly. I know it's going to come anytime, and that's what I need. That's what I like to do. I mean, I love to make sure defenses know every time they tackle me, they're going to feel me, and they're going to know they're going to get 100% no matter what, because I'm going to try to go through them every down. And mostly I just like to drain them down every game. Once fourth quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, that's when I really get to see if they still ready to hit and not. And that's really when I try to make my moves there.
One of the things I'm looking back through my notes just from a couple games here against Arizona and West Virginia. Arizona, I thought you did a really nice job in pass protection. You were cutting some folks, had a nasty one, a nasty cut block in that game. I don't know if you remember that in pass protection. But then also West Virginia, I've got you squaring up pass rushers. I got it checked about 3 or 4 times on here. So it seems like you've taken some real pride in your pass protection, which is usually one thing that keeps young backs from getting on the field.
Yeah, I learned that especially my freshman year in college. I was supposed to have a block, and a dude jumped over me and made a fumble, and we lost the game from that. But I learned from that mistake on, and I made it a priority for me to become a better pass blocker. And from years on, I just kept working on it. And at first, I didn't like it, but now, you just got to embrace it. But I love blocking now. I love doing everything just to keep my quarterback protected.
So in listening to you, I've heard you kind of described your strengths in terms of being a physical running back, a guy that's a workhorse. If there was one thing that you wanted to work on before you got to the next level, what would you say that is?
Uh, Probably more route running, just to set up my defenders a little more. I can catch the ball, but sometimes I just gotta be able to set them up better and be able to sell my routes a little bit more.
One of the friends of our show here of the podcast is an author named John Gordon, who's spoken to a bunch of teams, written a bunch of books, and Bucky and I have decided that as we go through the draft process this year, we're going to adopt 3 of his questions he likes to ask people. So we're going to hit you with the 3 H's. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The first one's easy. It's who's your hero?
My hero, my mom. She's my mom for sure.
Why? Now explain that a little bit further. Give mom some love here.
Shoot, mom do everything. She really is the superhero. She goes to work, always at either a game. She's always at a track meet for my mom, for my sister too. So she and then she goes and have time for herself. So it's just, she does everything. She makes sure that she's at every sporting event for us. And for all this, I think she probably missed 2 football games out of my whole years playing from Pop Warner, flag football, high school, college. So she goes to everyone, and then she's going to all my sister's track meets, and my sister runs for UNLV.
Wow,
that's
okay.
awesome. What does she run, by the way? What event does she run?
My sister do the hurdles. She sprints. She a long jumper, but she can't beat me though. She says she can, but she ain't ready for the burners yet.
Oh, okay. So we have down that your mom is your hero. So the next thing we want to know, what is the biggest hardship that you've had to overcome?
I probably think being away from the 2015 season, away from my football, my BYU team. Mostly is just I just had to keep working, and I had to watch them on TV, and I know everybody on there, and I'm talking to the TV like I know, like I'm at the game, So it was kind of hard, but at the same time, I know I was just getting ready for next year to come back bigger, faster, and stronger for them.
So for those who don't know, it was a team rule situation, right? You're suspended for that season. Did you give thought to transferring and leaving? Because I think a lot of people at that time expected you to just go ahead and transfer.
Yeah, but no, BYU was my team because they gave me my first shot, and once you give me my first shot, I'm loyal to you, and loyalty is really big to me. So it was no doubt in my mind that I was going to come back.
All right, your 2 questions down here. The final one is another easy one here. Your highlight. What's your greatest highlight when you look back on your college career?
My greatest highlight, I think probably getting the record, the rushing record, and it was during the Mississippi State game, but they put up the 21 signs and everything, and it really made me feel, even more special to be part of that BYU family. And at the time, I couldn't really, celebrate about it because we still about to go to overtime with them and, trying to win the game. But after the game, I seen everything they did. They made a big poster for me and everything, and it really hit me in the heart.
What are you going to run? What are you going to run 40-wise? That's what a lot of people are wondering out there. What are you going to run? I know you are a physical, pounding, aggressive. I use the word angry runner. When they click the watch on you, what are we going to see?
Sure, you just gonna have to wait till March 3rd. You gonna see it in my face.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Keep us waiting there. That's a good way to tease it there. Hey, Jamaal, we appreciate you taking some time, man. Wish you the best of luck as you go through this draft process, and we're excited to find out where you land.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, there you have it. Jamaal Williams, BYU. We're just a great football player, Bucky, and great kid too. Good to get a visit with him.
Great kid. Love what he talked about being loyal. Love that he talked about being a team guy. I think as we go through the process, and we always talk about football character, you like those guys that are team first guys as opposed to selfish me players.
No question.